Today I'm going to show you how to build an easy to build flying kelp farm. Built in the ocean, so a lot of the hard work's done for you. You can build it as small or as big as you like, starting at about 500 per hour all the way up to 5,000 kelp per hour. Here are the items you'll need for the farm. To get started, you need to go find a local ocean and find an area that's pretty deep and flat as possible. This area in front of me looks pretty good. As you can see, it's all flat across here. We can ignore this pit in the middle. We can make use of this. Now that we're down here with a door to keep us safe from drowning, we can start this farm. You want to find the longest length of flat land you can, which is right here, and build out 7 dirt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the width of the farm. You don't actually need the dirt. You could place your kelp directly on the gravel like this, but I find it much easier to see where your kelp's meant to go if you use dirt. Now that we've got this ready, we can build the full length. So for this example, I'll be building 40 long. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we had to go to do that 4 more times. Now that we've got 40 length in, I just need to fill it in. This farm should get us about 700 to 800 kelp per hour, as well as all the way up to maybe 1500 once it's fully upgraded. If you want to min-max your kelp placement, you can actually look at the age on the right, and you don't want to place one over 20. So like that one's 13 and 7. However, this takes way too much effort given how many kelp you actually have to place, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Now the kelp is in, we can start the flying machine. We want to come in 1 from the side, so and then 2 up, and then 5 slime. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here we can place another one here and a piston, and quickly come inside so we don't drown. From here we can go back 5 the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more slime there, and then the other piston looking into the original set of slime blocks. To finish off the flying machine, we just want to put glass here on either side. And with that, we want to put a note block there on this corner and on that corner. Observer looking into this one and then onto the other. The red dots should be pointing towards the pistons. That is pretty much the flying machine finished. You just need to put a obsidian there to stop it when it gets to this point, and then we need to go down to the other side. Now that we're on the other side, we want to go 4 out so we can place the next obsidian. So we're going to go up by 2, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can place the obsidian. Before we can test it, we need to get rid of all the dirt here. To test the machine, you just right click the note block here. And you can see it will start harvesting all the kelp and it will float to the surface. It can be a good idea to keep a little extra obsidian on you just in case you accidentally place the obsidian in the wrong spot and you need to chase after the machine to stop it. Now that we know that the flying machine works, we can start to build the collection up the top. To make it easy, we can just come over to this side here with the machine and just build an ice pillar all the way to the surface. Later on, we'll fill in this pillar apart from where it will block the machine, and this will help collect and keep the kelp inside the area we need. Before we can actually build it, we need to jump back down and send the machine across to the other side. Now we're on the other side, we want to do the same here. Make sure you're building it on the side closest to the actual kelp, so here, all the way to the top. Now to build the collection, we want to build 1 up and then go all the way up to the other side. So we want to go 1 out, so we're on the outside of the dirt platform that is where all the kelp is, and then build across until we meet up with that other glass there. Once that's finished, now we want to build the collection area. We want to grab some dirt and place it at the water level like this and fill in this entire space all the way just like we would have as we built the underside. You don't need to place any under this glass here. This is for later. This is how it will look when it's done. You just want to bring the other glass all the way to the side till it meets the dirt here. From here, we just want to get our water buckets and start to flood this area so all the flowing water leads off into this direction. Just grab the center water block and keep repeating until it's all flooded. Now that it's all flooded, we want to place glass on the end here where it meets the water, the whole way across. Now we can start to build the actual collection area. So we want to bring the glass out until it meets this glass line as well, and then come down here and build 2 dirt blocks down. So like so, the whole way across again. Once meeting the other side, we'll extend the glass here, but also now we want to come down and place glass all along the bottom, the sides, and this side like that. So we're encasing the dirt completely. You will also need to place glass on the underside over here. Once encased, this will be an air pocket that we can clear out once we remove the dirt. Once filled all in, we can just remove the dirt and we will have an air pocket here that we can later put in a water collection. You don't actually need to build this channel out of glass if you have a better block that's just easier for you to obtain. Glass just looks nice so you can see through the water. Additionally, I would say that the flying machine does not work on bedrock because of quasi-connectivity with the pistons. Now to make the water collection, we're going to place water at the end here, towards the direction where you would like the collection to be. In this case, it's closer to the land here. Once we get to the part where the water stops, we want to break the glass below it, place an ice, a slab above that, and then a sign behind it like so. That looks like this configuration. And then we can hold down shift and place water on the block above it, not on the side, not on the slab. And then we can continue this with every iteration until we get to the end. Now that we've got the water collection in, we can almost get ready to build our actual furnace system. But first, let's finish this farm. So we want to actually come over here and remove all this dirt. And because we didn't block in this dirt layer here, it will be all returned to source blocks, allowing this water to have the kelp come up and get pushed into the water flow here. So all you need to do is remove all the dirt like this. Hopefully you have an instant mine shovel, unlike me. Now that the dirt is gone, all we need to do is grab our daylight detectors and some glass, and we need to drop down, find the flying machine, and we want to put down the detector on top of the note block, like that, and then glass all the way to the surface, allowing the sunlight to properly get to the detector, like so. And now we want to do that on the other side. As you can see, all the kelp is flowing up and getting pushed into the collection system. Some of it will get trapped on the sides. That can be fixed later. Now we're on the other side. We can come back down and do this again. Daylight detector on top of the music block, or sorry, the note block. But this time you want to right click it and set it to night mode so it goes bluish. And then again, glass all the way to the surface. This will allow that the flying machine will fly in the morning all the way to here, and then at night it will fly back, so that you'll have it flying twice a day. And yeah, and you can see we've got a whole bunch of kelp already just from that harvest. These are the items you'll need for the cooking and crafting part of the farm. To get started with the crafter side, we need to fill in some of this glass here. So we need to fill these sides here like that, so it's all flat. Another one under, soul sand there, and now we also need to encase this here like that. So now that's all source blocks. When I'll jump down here, break this here and the one below it, place an ice there, and our sign on the side, and it should be an air gap now so that the items flow through. Now we want to go back up and continue filling this in with some of the water buckets we have. Like that. Make sure you grab some more, and then we want to go up another 2 times. You'll have to jump back down to get some more water, but you want to count from this above the surface. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to go up one more time. So just place water here. Get yourself up. One more layer of glass, water, and now this is where the smokers will go. Now that we're up the top, we're ready to actually build the smokers. So what we want to do is actually go out by 2 just to give us some room. And then from here, we want to start placing down our hoppers. The problem is we can't quite do that because it will point into the glass. So it's easier to come underneath, place a glass there, and now we can place our smokers on this side, looking towards where we want our, the opposite side of the back. So this is the back, is the actual farm. Hold down shift as you're doing this, and now you've got your smokers. Now we need to get back up there. Just place a water bucket and you can swim back up. Glass like that, one over the top, so there's a gap there. We can place our water there soon. Now we just want to support our water flow all the way this way. Hoppers directly on top of the smokers. Glass all the way to the end. Water bucket there, and now the items should flow all the way to the end and shouldn't come off. We can place an item at the block at the end just in case to prevent items flying off if the hoppers don't have time to pick it up. Alright, so this is where all the kelp gets picked up. Now we need to do the rest. So we can drop back down, grab our hoppers, and hold down shift to place them into the side of the smokers like that. And then from over this side we want to get our crafter and place it there so it's looking at us, and then hoppers from that all the way into the crafter under every smoker. So all the bottom hoppers are pointing towards the crafter, these ones are pointing into the smokers, and the ones above it are directly down into the smoker. Now we need to set up the crafting part, so we actually need to break the glass above it and replace it with a single block of dirt. You can use a more pretty block if you want, it just cannot be a transparent block. Over in the back, we want to come and place some glass like so. One across there like that, and another. Now we need to get a way up, so we just use some water to do this. Get rid of the water. From here, grab the comparator, point it out of the back on negative. One comparator into that, and now our compost. Now we just want to fill this kelp, this composter with full kelp. Don't remove the bone meal. From this point, we want to grab our piston like that. Observer, one observer looking this way and one looking the other way. So we can just place a temporary glass block just to make it easier. Observer there, and then observer facing the other way. You might want to just place a glass block there, or any block you have it looking into it, break it, and there you go. To finish this all off, we want to get back on the other side, grab some soul sand, place it there so it's below this the dropper. Grab some more glass, we'll just build our way up. We want to encase it all, build all the way up until we're level with the hoppers here. And then we want to start filling this in with water, so we'll have to get water a few times. Alright, now we only need one more, so it's easiest just to build up a protection barrier like that. But you might have to break this one so you can actually place the water, remove it, and now the water should go flowing out. We can encase the area if you just place a glass like that. I mistakenly placed one below it. Either way, so now the items will get shot out and fill up the smokers so they continue to craft. So now we can actually test this. So we can aim through behind this to get access to the back and put coal into the back here. And now we can grab some kelp and place that there. And it should start cooking. And once it's finished cooking all of it, it will end up all in here. It's almost finished. With only 2 pieces of coal, you'll have enough to get this farm running, and it will completely sustain itself. You see it crafted it, and now that dry kelp is in this position here, ready to be cooked up, ready to cook everything up. I just noticed a weird bug. So what might have happened when we placed in these blocks here is that this almost got set to a source block, but wasn't quite one, but the water ended up much higher. So an easy way to fix this is just pick up the water here and then replace it, and it should flow, and you should see a space above the water, so there's a gap, in which case the kelp should fly in easily. We can just test this now. Off it goes. One small thing you can do to improve this farm pretty quickly is to come to the back of these hoppers here that provide the fuel and fill them with glass like this, or any block that can't be cooked. This will prevent excess kelp getting put in here that doesn't really need to, and slowing down the next hopper, or rather next smoker, from getting kelp. Now I'll actually run a 1 hour test and see how this farm runs. 1 hour has passed and we have gotten 41 dried kelp. The other cookers don't quite have enough kelp in them, mostly because we haven't fully upgraded the farm. But this kelp here has been wasted because it can't be cooked yet. One thing you can do is you can take out a few items from this one and then spread it into the next ones so that they too can cook up items. But these two last ones won't really work until you've upgraded the farm. Now I'll talk about improvements. A very quick improvement you can do is adding a glass wall on the side where the flying machine. So if we come down here to the flying machine side on this side, we want to grab a glass wall and place it above the layer of here. So make sure none of it is touching this slime. And then we want to build it all the way up until we reach the surface. To further demonstrate my point, as you can see, the kelp is being shot out forward and we're losing a lot of kelp from the slime box actually pushing the items. You can see how much kelp is being pushed out of the farm. These walls will help this. Now that the walls are in and they'll look like this, we can actually do another test and see how much this has improved the farm. The final improvement we can do to improve this farm is actually one of the most resource costing. We're going to have to build a wall along this side here, the whole way around and all the way up. This is how the farm will look when it's fully encased and pretty much at its optimal level. There's only one small improvement we can do before the end. We want to place 3 terracotta here, 1, 2, 3 in the middle, and then a set across the bottom like that. That will be the best way we can stop any excess falling out. And then over this side we can do the same. As you can see, this thing is here, 3 there, leave a gap there for all this stuff here, and then down the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can grab the glass and extend them there. We can check that this side has got that, it already has, there we go, and that's pretty much done. I've ran the farm for a few more hours and this smoker can support this farm can support 3 smokers, and we're going to be getting over 108 excess kelp blocks per hour. So that's 107 blocks of kelp that you can use for other things. And speaking of that, if you would like to be able to see how to hook this up to another farm, I'll be making a cactus farm shortly that will make use of this. So if that interests you and you want to get tons of XP, stay tuned and subscribe, and I'll be releasing that as soon as possible. Either way, that's all I have time for. I hope you enjoyed the farm, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be the cactus one. So ciao, and have a great day.